Spanish. What the fuck? That's the heart tree. Okay, that looks like a heart.
Ooh, who are you? What are you doing here? No one's allowed around the world, Hart.
You seem nervous.
Yeah. Normally the only people to come out here are albs, or outlaws. Which are you?
Are you responsible for the world heart here?
That's what you care about? The world heart? What about the men sent with it? If we wither, it does too. Goliath should care as much about us as they care about that plant. But yes, what are we next to a world heart? Ants in history. Here we are standing by the future of Magellan, the very thing given to us in Magellan's hour of need. Maybe that's what Bourne meant. He told me being a cultivator was about learning who you are. Out here, isolated with this thing to care about, I've certainly gained perspective.
What is a cultivator?
Well, we're farmers, in the main. We grow the crops for Goliath, and we tend to the seedlings and the world hearts. The warriors act like they're the big guys, but really, they're here to protect us. Warriors might get the glory, but it's us cultivators who are changing the world.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, I didn't want to do it. This was a sentence. I got sent here as punishment 5 years ago.
Punished? And you say you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, masochist, aren't I? Beer, women, and fights were all that used to matter. Now, I get a kick from seeing just a few seedlings a season make it all the way to mature. I can take pride from that.
Tell me, what do you know about Ascor's murder?
Nothing, really. I don't hear much from Goliath out here.
So, you were here when he was killed?
Probably. I haven't been anywhere else in months. I only go back for supplies or to transport seedlings. When was Ascor killed?
3 months ago, around Mana's Eve.
Oh, then I was back in Goliath sometime around then. I've lost track, to be honest, but whenever it was, I didn't see anything.
How well do you know Ascor?
Not at all. I mean, I knew of him, people talked about him, but I don't think I ever said more than hello to him, and he ignored me. He didn't really have time for cultivators. But, you know, people can be like that. Some value our work, others think they're superior somehow.
Do you know where they found Ascor's body?
I'm guessing somewhere in the forest, or why ask me, right?
Did you hear anything else about Ascor?
Well, I'm wondering why you're not asking me about the seedling that disappeared the same night Ascor was murdered. No one seems to be asking about it, and from what I heard, it wasn't just a seedling, it was one close to maturity. I heard it was being sent to a cultivator in the hope it could go on to Tavar or somewhere as a new world heart. But it never arrived.
You work here on your own?
Most of the time. That's part of the punishment. It didn't used to be as lonely. They'd send patrols out to check on us. But since the Albs started attacking, we've been left on our own out here. Yeah, I guess we're not a priority.
Do you carry a sword?
Of course. It's dangerous out here.
I don't think you killed Ascor.
Me? Of course I didn't.
You really don't think you have a motive?
You mean the seedling he had? I'm a cultivator. I look after a world heart. I want to know what happened to the seedling he had. Why aren't you investigating where it went?
You're out here with a sword and no witnesses.
If I tried to attack a warrior with a sword, chances are you'd be planting me in the ground.
How safe is the world's heart here?
You mean with the Albs scouting out Goliath? They don't seem to register it. The World Heart mustn't be their mission, or they don't know about it. They'd kill me fast enough, though. That is, if the animals didn't get me first. Or I don't eat the wrong thing and get poisoned. Still, all in a day's work.
Anything you want me to report to Ragnar?
Yeah. Can you tell him about the World Heart? That it's okay? He should know we're still working, even though the patrols aren't coming to check. But if you're offering to help, there is one thing. I've not had any supplies from Goliath. Can you get them to send someone with my food supplies?
What do you mean the Albs don't register the World Heart?
They don't come here. They bypass it, keeping their distance. You'd think they'd come straight for it, huh? It's eating ELEX, and they sort of want all the ELEX, don't they? Maybe they don't like the mana. The mutants here love it, but when they eat it, it makes them sick. Maybe the Albs can sense that, and they want to stay healthy.
Maybe they're,
Where do you get your supplies from?
Directly from Goliath, normally. Sometimes, we'll get something from passing hunters. But you can't rely on that.
Why have the deliveries come to a halt?
The Alb attacks. The warlords have put all the warriors on defense and cut down on the supply runs. We're supposed to be self-sufficient out here, but with more Alb attacks and more creatures, we don't have time to grow, forage, or hunt anymore.
Why plant the World Heart out here where it's in danger?
You don't understand much about our ways, do you?
So tell me.
We're changing the world with them. Wherever you plant a World Heart, it extracts the ELEX from the ground, pulls the poison out of the soil. It makes the soil come back to life. Lets Magellan's nature return to it. So whenever we plant a World Heart, life follows. The more we plant, the more of Magellan is restored. We have to plant them in places like this because it's where they make a difference. All this around us, is because of the World Heart.
So where do the World Hearts come from?
I don't know. They found the first ones, the first Berserkers. They realized what it could do, that it fed on ELEX rather than dying from it, so they started cultivating them.
I will ask about your food supplies.
Thank you.
okay, were we done?
Cinda is probably the best person to ask. She's fierce. I mean, ball-shriveling fierce, but gets things done. I'm not asking for anything special, just the usual supply run. Or just, well, anything, to be honest. We're hungry out here.
Hunger.
Won't they send you supplies?
At some point, when they remember. Trust me, you going and asking will be faster than us waiting for them to remember. Our stomachs have better memories than they have. Listen, Goliath aside, there's a plant, the cultivator's loaf. If we could collect some of that, it would help us. It grows everywhere, but we've just not had time to collect them. 4 dozen should be enough.
4 dozen?
Yes, hopefully that would last us until we get another supply run. Say, let's round it up. Can you bring me 50? It would save you a trip to Goliath.
I'm gonna burn you. Oh, hey guys. We're almost there. Where's the
No, you won't get my help right now.
No, okay. That's your work here. Thank you. Feedback is a lot
About Kral.
Yes?
I found Kral. He's dead.
Then his crime has been paid for. Did you find the ELEX there with him?
No, there was no ELEX.
I feared as much. No doubt it has already fallen into the wrong hands. Thank you for your efforts. You achieved more than the guards did. One question, at least, now has an answer. Something has occurred to me. Perhaps you could help me with something.
What do you need?
I need someone less conspicuous than myself to do some inquiring. You see, I need some answers, but if I start asking questions, it might be as bad as me outright condemning the man in question. Suspicion sticks and people can start to see someone as guilty, even if there is nothing wrong. So, that is why I'd like you to do the asking. You see, there is a cultivator by the name of Ulrich, a willing and capable berserker. But there has been a change in him of late. Something I can't quite put my finger on. I would like you to speak to him and see if you can find out what is troubling him.
What do you suspect Orc's problem is?
Well, that's the issue. Suspicion is all I have. You see, Ulrich has continued with his tasks. He is polite and helpful, but there is a distance. He isn't as open as he used to be.
How can I find out what's wrong?
Just talk with him. See if you get the same feeling. He is someone who loves what he does. You should have no trouble getting him talking about his work in the seeding fields. It has long been a passion of his. But maybe that's it. Maybe he's seeking promotion. Or maybe he's just having a bad day. Whatever it is, he served us well, and if there is something wrong, I'd like to help him. I don't want him to be afraid to tell me of problems.
Eardor needs supplies.
Eardor? The cultivator? Yes, I suppose he's not had any supplies for a while. But he will have to wait. He can forage in the forest. The people here can't.
I promised I'd get him supplies.
I'm not responsible for your promises. I have a whole town to feed.
What if I buy them?
ELEX is always welcome. You can purchase what you want. Everything I've got here has already been assigned. Except for a load of bread I had to throw out because no one picked it up from the baker until it was too late. I mean, what use is moldy bread? For the want of a few men, we waste resources that we're already short of.
Is moldy bread all there is?
For now, I'll get someone out there with better supplies when I can. But honestly, I can set up 4 other supply runs to other people in the time I can get someone to him. Until all this is sorted out, I've got to put my supplies where they'll do the most good.
Not now.
These fucking mutants. They're so desperate for ELEX, they even try eating the mana from the seedlings. All that work, ruined by damn rotboars.
There's mana in the seedlings.
Of course, we feed them with it. But mana is made from ELEX, right? The mutants can feel that. They think if they eat the plants, they'll get the ELEX. But they get mana instead. At least that makes them weaker. Then they're easier to kill off. But only after they've done the damage. That doesn't help me keep the seedlings alive, though. And that's my task. I look after all the seedlings here.
So, your job is to protect these plants from mutants.
Happy. I've got the most important job in Golia. Hey, maybe even on Magalan. Protecting the seedlings, that's the law. World hearts are to be protected from everyone and everything. Not that these little baby seedlings are world hearts yet. But now Boren's had the mana delivery from Caldrum, we can start cultivating them again, and then, who knows? World hearts, proper world hearts, are rare. But maybe, just maybe, one of these little things will make it to maturity.
Are you happy working for Cauldron?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not always so easy. Caldrum is pretty strict about how the plants are grown and what you do with them, and, well, how are we gonna learn like that? You think the first cultivators just stood and watched things grow? The first mages just waited for magic? No, they tried things. They experimented.
Is there a way to stop the mutants from eating the plants?
Yeah, I mean, if we can't grow many world hearts, maybe we should try growing them differently. Maybe we could breed them so that the mutants wouldn't eat them. But we're not allowed to try, which is crazy. I mean, imagine what we could do. And not just to seedlings. If mana does that to a plant, imagine what it could do to a person. If we don't try, we won't progress.
What do you think of Bourne?
He's a good boss. I enjoy work. He cuts me...
And is everything all right out here? There's nothing getting you down?
Just the usual. The mutants. The low success rate in growing world hearts. The occasional bit of grief from the boss, but nothing too bad. You know, nothing worth talking about.
Why are world hearts so rare?
I don't know. I mean, berserkers have been studying them since before I was born. I think they found one out in the wild. I heard they were going to destroy it because it was, you know, a mutant plant. And then they realized this thing was making everything else grow. They've been learning how to cultivate more world hearts since then, but it's hard. Even since they learned to feed them with mana.
It sounds like you really care about your job.
You know, yes, I do. I want to see the seedlings live. I want to see more world hearts. I just wish that the others could see how I could help them achieve that.
How do you think you can improve the seedling crop?
And that's just the seedlings. There've not been many experiments on people since some narrow-minded warlord banned them. I think we should at least talk about trying that again. If feeding mana to plants in these doses can make world hearts, what would happen if we got the dose right with people? Any experiment, it's going to take someone to show the way, to blaze the trail, to be the first.
It takes courage to be the first.
Well, I was thinking about mana and seedlings and us, right? The ELEX, the normal ELEX that the Albs are after, that makes them stronger. That's why they're so scary. So I thought, what if we did that with mana? I mean, it's been purified by the plants, so it should be all right, yeah? And if it makes us stronger, like the Albs, then we'd stand more of a chance. We could take them on. So I extracted the juice from a seedling and I drank it. And I felt like I understood everything.
Don't your laws forbid that?
Yeah, I suppose, but don't you see? If we can get this to work, if we can do this, then we'd all be stronger. You can see that, can't you? I've got to wait to try again, but I'm telling you, one more dose, maybe two, and I'll become something else. Something that can fight the Albs.
One more dose?
One more mature seedling, and I could solve this question. I know it. I can show everyone the way. We can win this war. All this can be over. You believe me, right? So, let's keep this between ourselves. You will get more juice. I promise. I should go now. I have to make this work.